Hello, happy Christmas and welcome to the Christmas Pod 2022. My name's Sam.
I'm Tigz.
I'm Tom.
How are you, gents? You all right? It's been a long time since we've caught up in person.
Yeah, pretty good, buddy. It's very festive-y, isn't it? It's Christmas is coming.
Yeah. No, it's weird. We haven't had any games or anything, but it's been exciting from a Bournemouth perspective, hasn't it? So yeah, I'm merry.
Well, okay, World Cup. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. Yeah, I loved the World Cup. It was weird. I was saying to Ash, I was having a chat with Ash, and I didn't want the World Cup, and I was kind of like, oh, you know what I mean? And then when it happened, I actually thought it was quite a nice little break. Yeah. And the games were quite entertaining. I quite enjoyed it. I know I'd probably get into the World Cup more than you. Yeah. Do you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I mean, at the end of the day, Saudi Arabia are the new champions of the world, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they beat the world champions, didn't they?
Yeah.
What bizarre World Cup.
I mean, I know the World Cup had loads of kind of like moral issues and stuff, but on a footballing level, it was absolutely brilliant, and there were some superb games there. But I don't know why. I couldn't invest myself into it because the Premier League just left in limbo. Like when I have a World Cup, in my eyes, it's when I've got relief, either through knowing that we're relegated, or knowing that we're promoted, or just knowing our fate for that season. But teetering on the edge of the relegation zone, it always kind of hung over me like a cloud a little bit. But when the football started and when it started to become very entertaining as well, it was actually a really good watch, and especially 4 games per day for like 7-8 days in a row. It's superb.
Yeah, 10 a.m. I'm going to miss the 10 a.m. games. But no, I actually think from a Bournemouth perspective, it was actually weirdly probably a good thing. It allowed us to do things behind the scenes that obviously everyone's aware of. And kind of resetting that everyone. We had a little takeover thing. Yeah, we got a few Americans in, and my cousin Michael Jordan come in. I've never told anyone that, but yeah, obviously big relation, and the B stood for Bournemouth after all. So, but no, it allowed us to do some bits that maybe would have been harder to do while preparing for games and stuff. Yeah. And obviously we only had a couple of players out there anyway who crashed out the group stages, unlucky Wells. But no, it was good fun. I enjoyed it, and yeah, it just feels. The other night when we played Newcastle and stuff, it just felt weird that it's back straight away because you're so used to having a good prolonged break after a World Cup.
Tom, I need to discuss something with you. England's World Cup campaign, was it successful?
No, it wasn't successful. We went out in the quarterfinals, so we want to do better than that. But I think that was most people's predictions. When you looked at the route, you kind of went, "Oh, France in the quarters." Yeah. So I think we've done the bare minimum, but we literally lost because we missed a penalty. Like, we were the better team in that game. I think it was different to, I think, Italy. I can understand why people said, we were 1-0 up and we should have won that. The Croatia one, I think now hasn't aged well because people say we should have beaten an aging Croatian side who ain't that good. Well, they knocked out Brazil in this World Cup, so they're even older. So I actually think, and people forget we had Ashley Young, Jesse Lingard in that side. So I think we done well to get to a semi-final there. This one, I just felt we played well on the day, and it was the fine margins. They had Giroud's a killer in front of goal, and Harry Kane misses a penalty.
I could sense you getting quite irked on Twitter though with some tweets that you were reading about Southgate.
I do, yeah. I kind of get it, but this thing about just automatically getting a top manager and suddenly we'll win the World Cup. Why do we feel like we have a divine right to win a World Cup? We've won one in over 50 years.
And we did that, didn't we? We got like the top managers in the world. We did.
Capello and Sven had the best CVs you've ever seen, and we didn't just fail, we stunk the place out. Every time I go into a tournament, I would just be falsely believing we were absolutely rubbish. And I'm just that sort of person anyway. If I'm watching it, I believe in the team, and they all believe in each other, and they try, and everything's, and it's just one of them things. You get beat by a team like France, the world champions. You kind of go, it is what it is. But I'm happy Southgate's got the Euros anyway. If he doesn't, perform at the Euros, I think it might be time. But I still think he should kind of leave gracefully on his own. I mean, he's the most successful manager we've ever had since we won it. So yeah, I mean, we literally went from, I won't go on too much, but we went from going out to Iceland. Yeah. We didn't qualify for a Euros not too long before that. We were just, I remember us drawing with what was the one where Rooney said, "Oh, the fans booing you," and all that? We drew with Algeria or something. I mean, we were hopeless in every tournament, absolutely hopeless. And what was the World Cup with Roy? We didn't win a group game. Didn't win we were out before the third game, and now we're going, quarterfinals, lose to the world champions. Let's just everyone calm down. We're got no divine right to win anything. You saw that with Brazil, Spain, Germany, all these sort of nations. So yeah, it's well. I enjoyed it, mate. I enjoyed it.
During that World Cup, we found out our new manager.
Yeah, I mean our old manager. We've repackaged.
Yeah, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm all right with it. I mean, look, things got to get moving. Things got to get, there's an inkling to me, there's a feeling to me that maybe it would only have taken one result to have gone the other way.
Yeah, that's what's weird, yeah.
You're talking about the Everton game?
Yeah.
That week, probably.
That week is probably what's won in the... It feels like it's what's won in the job to me, because all the way up to that point, it did look like we were looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
And, what changed? What changed? But I'm happy. I mean, at the end of the day, he's not doing a terrible job. We've got to think about what our season's going to look like, what we want it to look like. We just want to stay up, don't we? Really?
Yeah.
And he's sort of putting all the right things in place. And the more exciting story is what's going on behind us now. Going behind all that and how that changes. I think that's more important.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's one of the things. I got nothing against Gary O'Neill. I think he comes across really well. I think he's done well as well. And I was thinking about it. I was going, right, what is our short term? Because we're thinking a lot long term at the moment with the new owners and stuff like that. I was thinking, well, short term, we need to stay in the Premier League. Do I believe this squad, this group of players with Gary O'Neill at the helm can do it? I do. Yeah. I look at us and think, actually, I think we can. I think the only things that kind of maybe I think annoyed's probably too strong. I think everyone's well behind O'Neill. Was more the kind of the thing. I think it was Blake or someone saying in the press kind of about, well, we saw after the Everton game the support Gary got. The fans obviously love him, but that was because we thought it was goodbye. Yeah, not a patronising way. But we kind of thought this is O'Neill's last game. Let's give him a send off because thank you, Gaz.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like, they've gone, they obviously wanted to stay, which is obviously untrue. But because we didn't, but equally, I kind of thought, if we give them the opportunity, and even obviously now with the new owners, if they decide they think we're happy to go with him for now and see what it is, then that's fine by me. Well behind him, and I think really, I've said this loads of times, but people forget how on the floor them group of players were with what Scott was saying. For him to come in and get them together and fighting, and straight away after a 9-0 we kept a clean sheet, and then we overturned the 2-0 down at half time, and you think, well, they obviously like playing for him. I know that's not everything, but I think that is they're good little signs. I know it's completely different circumstances, but when we got Eddie originally, he lost his games when he was temporary manager. They gave him the job because we could see the group are together, and I think for the powers that be upstairs, they like that. If they see a unity, they think that's something to build on. So I do get it, and I do like Gary O'Neill, but it's very unknown at the moment because he's never managed.
When you're being presented, and this isn't supposed to be disrespectful, like with a box of like Lindor lint balls, and then you end up getting some Cadbury's roses. Some people prefer the roses, of course, but I think a lot of people are wooed by the the Belgian chocolate joy that is lint. But
so you call them Bielsa lint? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, I know.
But but the thing is, like, you were happy like munching on Cadbury's roses. It was absolutely fine. You don't like the strawberry ones, but that's by the by. But yeah, I think
it's so Bournemouth though, isn't it? Like, I mean,
we've got a history of that.
We've got a history of it, so it's we can go all the way back to when Eddie left and who we were being linked with then, and then Jace got the job, and when Jason left, who we were being linked with then, and then Woodgate got the job, and then when it's kind of like you wonder how much of it is actually real, how much of it is actually true, and how much of it is kind of like I don't know. Maybe you just don't know. Maybe it was Gary O'Neill all along. Maybe that was just a smokescreen while we just sort stuff out and show a bit of ambition.
And
or whatever.
They're never going to tell you that they were officially chatting to Bielsa if he's not going to get the job. No. Otherwise it looks quite bad. But I said on Twitter or somewhere that sometimes I think that sometimes maybe it's an elaborate sort of exercise to raise the status of the club, but by being seen to be linked with these world-class managers. Yeah. But obviously it didn't happen, and then it was just Gary O'Neill. So it just seems that we went from one level, to another. But you know what, Gary O'Neill, I think he did some sort of really good things over that period of time, like you said, and there were some promising performances. I think obviously it's really disappointing against Leeds and Spurs. I think the two performances that really stuck in the throat were the Saints at home, where we were awful, and West Ham away, which, I know there was a kind of like refereeing issue, VAR, but we were dog shit in that game. However, Spurs, you're playing a Champions League side where they've got that world class. It was a Travers Flap that let them, back into it. And then at Leeds, it was a wonder goal that got them back to 3-2, and then ultimately the momentum shifted. But other than that, I think we've been fairly good in most of our games, so it actually makes me feel a little bit more positive. And we'll talk in terms of timelines. Of course, I'm skipping on because we'll talk about the takeover. But moving on to that Newcastle game, the first game back, what did you think of it, because even in that game, a game that no one cared about, at full time, people are saying, "Oh, O'Neill doesn't know what he's doing. This just demonstrates that he should never have had the job and stuff." Hang on, why are we all of a sudden caring about a game you didn't care about previously? What?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, for me, it was, we got a week before the start of the season again. So for me, anything, like, don't just go out there, play a game of football, don't get embarrassed. And I'm happy with that. I'm sorry, I didn't want to. I don't want to be in the Carabao Cup. Sorry, Carabao Cup. But I didn't want to be in it, so for me it's perfect.
But I mean, like, firstly, like, their team was really strong, was about as strong as it could possibly be. And secondly, we're all saying they're going to be a top 4 side this season. So, okay, we're playing a top 4 side. If we played Man City, we'd be doing exactly the same thing. And they weren't that great, but that's because I think we made them not great, because we were shithousing the game, we were being like really niggly, and we were breaking up the periods of play. So for that, I think we deserve some credit. And we weren't actually really out of it, and it was an own goal that won it.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got to remember as well, O'Neill was the manager when we went to Newcastle, and like you say, they've won most games at home, and we nicked a point there. They got a penalty to get a point. We nearly won that game, and in that game we let him have all the ball, and we found a moment, Billiam, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we needed, so of course he's going to do the same sort of thing, because it worked quite well last time, and I think it worked. I think he said it afterwards, O'Neill, that the plan and that they done it really well, because it was soak it up, because we obviously feel like we can defend them sort of things, and almost it's ironic that they score from a Trippier cross and an own goal, because we were kind of saying don't let them in, just let them have crosses, because Callum Wilson in the air is not, I mean, he's all right, but you'd fancy Mepham and Selesi. So I did get it. It's easy in hindsight, and I think everyone does it a little bit. When it's 1-0, you go, oh, should we have just gone for it because it was there? But you go, no, actually, if we had just gone toe-to-toe, we probably would have got picked off and lost 3-0 or something. Yeah. So I kind of got it. It's not an unbelievable watch. And I think when you've had a break of watching your team, and then you kind of stream that or went to the game or whatever and watch it, you can't help but be like, oh, it's a bit turgid. But you've got to look at it broader and go, look at the quality of opposition. And people forget, we didn't have Jefferson Lerma. Obviously, Lloyd Kelly was still out. And when Lerma's not out, you bring in Pearson. Well, he wasn't there. So Billing's playing in we had some players out, and that's the best way to set up against them. It's never going to be nice to watch.
Are they expecting us to outplay them?
I don't know, really.
Well, I don't know what people are wanting.
What I will say is this: I didn't go, couldn't go to the game.
Yeah. Fair play to all those that did. 463, I think.
Yeah, and if you did, and you feel aggrieved by the performance, you are well entitled to that. Oh my goodness, because to go all that way. So if I was there, actually, I think I would be a little bit sore. I would be a little bit, come on, push up, do something. Perhaps just me personally. But
I get it, I was just going to say, but I remember going last season to Norwich, the 6-0. And in that game...
You haven't spoken about that before.
And that game, it's an obvious one to pick up, because obviously, as a horrible trip, midweek, to lose 6-0, it's like laughable. And in that game, we could have done the same as we did against Newcastle and lost 1-0 and it being boring, and I wouldn't have moaned. But we just went, we played like people like Brennan Camp and Kyle Taylor played. Right. And we kind of went, let's just have a go. And we got pumped. And I was not happy, and no one was happy about that. So would we have been happy if we had lost it? Do you know what I mean? And I think he was just trying to stay in the tie. And I'm not being funny, but a few little half chances at the end. And he knew it went straight to penalties, which is a lottery. And we just won on penalties in the last round. So it wasn't like we had another half hour to go after that. It would have been straight penalties. If we had just nicked Kiefer Moore-Header at the end or something and gotten the penalties, it would have looked like a masterclass. Fine margins again, mate. Fine margins.
Should have played Barcondes.
Yeah, should have played.
I still can't believe he don't come on. By the way, he
scores in every round.
He's good in the cup. Why don't we just chuck it? We never. I do feel for him. He's going to be off.
Yeah.
100%.
And then obviously in between this small matter of a takeover's finally announced. People were worrying it wasn't going to happen because of the radio silence, but then it was announced at midday, and wow, it's mad really how he's chairman. And he's seemingly hitting the ground running in his job by being so proactive. And he's saying all the things as well that, there's a personal responsibility to what will happen at AFC Bournemouth. And obviously concentrating on building up the training facility at Camford Magna, and that, that's happening now. There was already a pitch there already, but he wants to build that up really quickly. And he wants to do it fast as well. And then talking about the stadium, the matchday experience, the infrastructure. Are we going to be called the Bournemouth Buccaneers at some point? Are we?
Black Knights or something. I think the things I'm finding really interesting is the moves that he's made quickly. So obviously the statements that he's put out, but also he's putting temporary buildings over at Camford so he can move all the office staff over there. So they can free up, they can free up the space in the stadium then for more executive money making. And then also that he's gone and gotten the blower to some buddy over in America who worked with him at one of his Golden Knight things, and he's got him over, and he's got him a house over here to look up. He's our
business
head of business or something, business of business.
Communications.
I mean, do you think that part of the reason why Michael B. Jordan's been brought in is for this sort of global exposure thing? Kind of like, like Welcome to Wrexham. They've got like shirt deals with TikTok and stuff, and Expedia, and for a national league side, those kind of brands. Like, why are you?
I think there'll be
messing with them? I
think there'll be a lot of people. Probably, you're more kind of old school and traditionalist. They don't like that, but that's just the modern world, and you've got to get involved in it. And I think
to compete, you have
to. You have to exposure to your football club and stuff like that. You've got to do it, and that's definitely part of it. And coming from America, they'll get all that. And he's saying, and like you said, Sam, he definitely is saying the right things, isn't he? For sure. I mean, we're hopeful, obviously, he'll deliver, but. Straight away, he's applied straight away. He saw the application for the training ground and all that stuff, like straight away. And I do like the kind of talking about the academy and talking about stuff like that. I think that's really important for the football club. People forget that bringing through your own players and stuff like that is very difficult for us. We haven't got the facilities to be in that category. And you only saw the other night that we came very close against Liverpool in an academy game, and you see we've got a few players there, and we're doing that without the facility. So imagine with do you know what I mean? How many? How it wasn't that long ago. Really, we're just so used to. If there was a good young player, he'd just go to Southampton. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like a lot of the fans did as well.
And it's a way of printing money in a way as well, because like Sam Surridge came through the academy. Obviously, we got rid of him for a few million, and hopefully we keep hold of Jaden Anthony. Jordan Zamora, Mark Travers, all the rest of them. Gav Kilkenny's out on loan, but if we did sell them, we'd get some good money for them.
And that's what I'm saying. Them sort of players have come through before we've done anything really. But so imagine how much further we can take them. That's really important. And it's just it's the whole football club. I know it's easy for when you're just doing a black and white statement, you kind of go, Bournemouth can buy loads of good players now. But you've got to look at it like from a broader point of view. You go, it's just better. I'm more excited about all that stuff. So. It is exciting. I'm always a little bit cagey. I'm a bit like, oh God, you don't know. You're always a bit. I'm always a bit worried when stuff like this happens. I'm like, I just want to be little Bournemouth again. I don't like it. It's because it's scary. It's unknown.
We've been thrust into a different world, a different sphere. No, the outside world doesn't see it, but we see it from the inside looking out. And the thing I find really quite interesting, talking about creating our own revenue and doing our own thing, and how Foley, I think he did like 3 or 4 local media interviews. They were really good, really he just went out into town and told us everything we wanted to know. You could have asked him what underwear he was wearing, and he would have told us. But one of the things he told us about was and I love this quote, he went, why would I buy a player for a football club when I can buy a player for me? And this idea that he wants like a multi, with us at the top, and then football clubs in different countries.
Yeah.
That's mad.
I don't think you can officially call it parent club these days, but it is. We're like a parent club, aren't we, with other clubs? So really exciting. Yeah, I think was it Lorient in France, and I looked at them. They're only a couple of points off Champions League.
We're the parent club, and in my humble opinion, we are smaller than the clubs that we're. It's like
we play in the Premier League.
It's like your mate marrying your mum. I can't be my dad.
I know what you mean. But it's because of the Premier League, isn't it? I always have loved what Watford do, for example. That pair.
He loves it.
I've always said Watford. I've always said
role
models. Yeah, but no, it is exciting. But I think he's looking at it and going, the Premier League is the be all and end all, isn't it? I mean, you can just. I thought a big one last year, going off a little bit, but when Burnley in January, do you remember they signed Weghorst, who scored in the World Cup, didn't he? He scored a couple in the World Cup. And they got him, and you figured he was like European, heavyweight striker. And he went to Burnley, who were nearly going down. No disrespect to Burnley, but that just shows the Premier League pull. It's massive, because why is Weghorst going to Burnley? But that's what the Premier League does. So I think, it is exciting, and we'll be top of that food chain. But it's I always like supporting other clubs in other countries. I've not had a French club or a Belgian club, so that'd be.
He wants to get one in South America as well. After he's done that.
Yeah, that will be exciting.
Maybe a Colombian one. Get the next Jefferson Lerma.
Yeah. Oh, let's keep him first.
Exciting
I'm a bit worried about
Exciting times ahead, yeah, and that's going to be the topic of another video. I mean, what's going to happen to Jeff? I mean, it's scary, but Back of the Net's going to be here to cover it. It's been a good year for Back of the Net, hasn't it, mate?
Amazing.
We've grown massively. I don't have the stats to hand. I should do.
that. I haven't grown personally. We don't mean I'll get some comments otherwise.
But yeah, I mean, highlight of the year is obviously promotion for us.
Of course. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
It seems weird now when I look back at the Parker days and I see like post-match interviews with him. It just feels weird.
Yeah, no, it is weird. I don't know. I remember there were quite a lot of games where we were frustrated, but kind of going, oh, we kind of got to do this because it's a point at Peterborough. It'll probably end up with us going up. So, and it ended up being all right, didn't it? I think one of my favourite moments was just Kiefer Moore just announcing himself. It was unbelievable.
That Swansea game.
Oh, the Swansea game, and then straight away after he gives us promotion, then that was just, I never expected Kiefer Moore. I just thought he'd be the backup kind of big lump that we chuck on at the end, kind of whatever. But what a signing he was. I'm trying to think of other, I remember Blackpool was this year, wasn't it? Blackpool away, that felt like a big moment, Dembele. And that was Parker kind of went over on the pitch, didn't he? Yeah. And I think Nat Phillips done a knee slide. I kind of thought, they're all together here. That felt like a big moment.
What was your favourite away day? Last, I mean, obviously there are favourite home games, of course. We'll probably say Forest for that, but away, I've got so. I mean,
Blackburn's up there.
I was going to say Blackburn.
We had a series of 3-0s: Coventry, Blackburn, and what Huddersfield was it?
Blackburn felt big because of when it was as well. Like any other point in the season, it was
that was the last away game, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was their biggest attendance, wasn't it? Like they filled out the place for that.
And that was where Jeff Mostyn came in the pub.
Yeah.
But during that game, constantly on your phone, like looking at how Forest are doing because
did Surridge get a hat-trick that game?
Yeah, Sam Surridge got a hat-trick.
And we were like, right, because we were thinking, and then we knew, right, it's all coming up to that game, isn't it? It's all going to come up to that game. Which was, because it was weird season in the sense that we had 2 home games to finish, didn't we? Whereas normally you have because of the old storm that caused a few problems to our stadium. But yeah, no, that was, I mean, thinking of home games, you can't go other than Forest, can you really?
That's brilliant.
I'm trying to think of other home games that felt quite pivotal though, because there were some big ones that you felt we needed to get through. But yeah, Forest, it felt like you said, them 3, you've got to remember, Huddersfield, Coventry and Blackburn all had good seasons. We went to all of them and won 3-0.
Yeah.
As I mentioned,
well, we didn't drop points that often against any of the top sort of 6 sides. Really, I think Fulham, obviously, a couple of draws.
Yeah, but
I think we might have lost maybe 1. I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, Luton.
Yeah,
Luton was when we lost, wasn't it?
And they were going great guns then, weren't they?
They were in the playoffs, weren't they? Yeah. But yeah, actually that's a good one. The that Solanke penalty to get the draw against Fulham. Yeah. That was the last kick of the game. Yeah. The bottle he must have had there, Harry Kane. You're watching Dom, but. Yeah, that felt big, didn't it, to get a point off them, and what that gives you, a last minute goal. So, and it was Harry Wilson gave away the penalty, didn't he?
Yeah, on Adam Smith.
But yeah, we had some great ones, mate. We had some great ones.
And obviously there was I know it was. I'm taking liberties here a little bit because it was in the December.
Right.
But the game against Fulham with that, the kickoff routine that's been copied all over the world. Yeah. Which, is a nice reminder every now and again, isn't it?
We even tried it the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, we tried something similar, didn't we?
Against Newcastle, but it didn't happen. And you know what? We've enjoyed covering it, and we're going to carry on doing so. By the way, you may have noticed these little beauties, these Back of the Net mugs. Thank you to everyone that's bought one. If you want to buy one yourself, I think we've got 20 left, and to be honest, we want to get rid of them now. So just go to afcbpodcast.com/coffee. It is a minimum of £10, but if you want to be generous at Christmas, you can give more, and we will hand deliver them to BH postcodes, but also post them out elsewhere. We'll also organise some for international delivery next year as well, but obviously we're not going to get it to you by Christmas because it's Christmas Day. And I hope Father Christmas has bought you everything you wanted. Well, it has, because we're here. But yeah, thank you for all your support this year and all the comments that we've had on the vlogs and all the emails and all the anonymous feedback, which we'll be coming on to. It's been a really good year, mate, and hopefully we'll still have Premier League football at the end of it, because I think it helps the channel grow. There are these little sort of comments that are sometimes made on videos that makes videos blow up.
Don't know what you're on about. They explode sometimes. God, that was mad. Oh,
that? I mean, like in terms of your Back of the Net highlight, that must have been it. Just a little comment, and then Leeds fans, and then firework man.
Firework man, newspapers.
The Daily Star.
I tell you what, it made me think actually a little bit like, you know, when sometimes you see, you know, kind of big YouTubers or whatever, and you see a little clip and you think, oh, and you quote to it and you go, what is he talking about? And then it makes you think, actually, you see so much stuff out of context.
Yeah.
Because I was joking around with everyone about the firework, like being sarcastic, but it just wasn't filmed. So then when I said it, I've said it because I know that everyone around me knows I'm taking the mick.
Yeah.
But when I looked at it in isolation, it doesn't look like I'm taking the mick because obviously I'm doing it in a David Brent style sarcastic manner.
And you've got Leeds fans in the comments that are trying to educate you about the history of Guy Fawkes and
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Thanks for the history lesson.
Yeah, no, it was weird. But then but
then it turned out it was true.
There were stories about a Leeds fan who timed the fireworks when they scored the goals. So yeah, it was big game from a massive club.
Have you got back of the net highlight from this year, Tiggs?
Back in the net highlight. Oh,
I'll go for mine, which is promotion night, which is just covering that. You know, going onto the pitch.
It took me ages to try and find you on that pitch.
Yeah, doing a free-for-all on the pitch and just going around and doing that. That was super. Apparently there were people queuing up outside in the usual spot by the 1910, like, stay in the stadium, that's where everything is. I was intent on enjoying that night.
I'll tell you what, saying about Forest this season, the one we briefly mentioned when we come back after 2-0, the free-for-all after, the fan cams, after, just felt so, you know, you have a lot of them where just people are singing as they're walking past. But you see it in the background, there was a few of me, like, people walking past just hugging each other, and it felt like, I don't know why, it felt like, I think because we don't want to act like we were down, when we know what it's like to actually be, you know, down in the dumps, but it felt like after the Liverpool and with the sack of the Parker, and it all felt a bit like, oh, we're just going to go out of a whimper. And that win coming back, and I remember like Neto and all that kind of giving it big, it felt like everyone was just buzzing at that moment. I really enjoyed that. I do like it when the fan cams, everyone's kind of all, do you know what I mean, a really good mood, because I don't think we'd really had one before that.
Some of the youngsters we've had on the fan cams as well, and the families of the players. That's lovely to hear when you get someone like, you know, John Zamora's family or Jay Nanny's family saying, you know, we like watching the show. Got to say, that's lovely that they watch it, they enjoy it, and we haven't upset anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we've had some questions that have been submitted over Twitter. Some of them anonymously, also on Facebook and YouTube as well. And there's a mixture of AFC Bournemouth. We might have covered some of the footballing questions, so if we have, we'll probably skip them. Right, let's go for the first one then. Leanne, Brussels sprouts or no Brussels sprouts at Christmas?
Nope.
I'm game. I'm game for that. Do the little incision. Sometimes cook them with little bits of bacon. Lovely.
I mean, it's the only time I eat them, so I'll have them on my plate. That's no problem.
Yeah. What? Are you not a big fan?
Oh, get rid of them. I don't know what they do. They're that good that people only have them at Christmas. It's like crap. Get rid of them.
Ian Hensman, preference for hot weather or cold weather at Christmas? P.S. Hello from 32 degrees Sydney. Ian, love you.
Whatever. It was nice to. Was that Ian that we saw in Newcastle?
Yeah. You know, Jagerbomb Ian.
He had a few drinks that day, didn't he? Yeah. For me, at Christmas, to the state, it's got to be cold at Christmas. I don't want it to be hot at Christmas. It doesn't feel right.
I'd like to try it. I mean, if you...
Yeah, we don't know what it's like.
Got a spare bed, Ian. Give us a buzz, mate. I'll be over.
Not absolutely freezing like we've had, but just a bit nippy so you can get your Christmas jumper on and that. Yeah, got to be done.
Who's your favourite Spice Girl? Agent Cherry. Who's your favourite Spice Girl and why?
Oh, Baby.
Yeah.
I think it's Baby.
I'm just trying to think. Yeah.
I think, it's got to be Baby for me.
Did it start off as one and then end with another when they got older? Or not? Or has it...
Yeah, because I was thinking that in my head. I was thinking, have I changed now? No, I think I've always gone Baby, actually. Who else? Ginger?
You're not a Mel C man?
Nah, I'm not having it. No, not having it. Wait, one sec.
I don't have a favourite Spice Girl. I don't think I do. Oh. Which is Mel C and which one's Mel B?
Mel B's scary.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay.
I know too much here. Yeah. So I think...
Mel C's the one who's got the best voice, isn't it? She's carried on doing like really good singing.
Agree with that.
When I was 13, right, I was at school and I was obsessed by the Spice Girls. Right. And I bought this magazine called Spice Girls Up Close.
Oh, okay.
From the local Circle K or whatever it was at the time, all days. And I was obsessed by Baby Spice, and I ended up like going on to Google or Alta Vista at the time. No, I think it was Google, and I wrote her a letter.
Oh God! Have you got the letter to hand?
No, I haven't got it to hand. I wrote a letter saying, please can you write back to me? Please,
Oh my God.
I was absolutely obsessed.
Do you still like her now? Do you still follow her career? Or?
Yeah, mate, I listen to Heart every weekend.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
always on
Oh
it.
yeah, she is, isn't she?
But,
no, I'm going to go baby.
Yeah, baby. All right, okay. Let's see what else we've got. We've got a few questions.
No one went posh, did they?
Didn't even enter, but oh no.
But she's a bit kind of... She never smiles.
She don't need to, she's got money.
Yeah, but...
I would smile every minute if I was with David Beckham. I would have a permanent smile. Maybe she can't smile, maybe she's had some things done.
Right, 3, Steve Hensman. Hi, Steve.
Maybe he makes her go in goal when they play football in the garden. Sorry.
3 AFCB guests, past or present, players or staff for Crimbo dinner.
Oh, okay.
Who are they and why? 3 AFCB guests, past or present.
I mean, I'm going to say one that I think we'll all pick, Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
Are you not picking Eddie Howe?
Would it be a bit boring?
No, because you could just chat. I want to get like a good blend here. I'm thinking of mine, so I want to have one that I could just talk football with, and that's going Eddie.
Okay, but Christmas, have a few drinks in the afternoon, like Tyndall. Would be a lad, wouldn't he? Yeah. Would he? But because Eddie Howe would be like doing his like match prep, wouldn't he, for whoever he was?
Yeah, but he's giving us a lift to town because he's not drinking.
Well,
So
on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Christmas Day, isn't it? Yeah. But he is. Well, he can pop off to get more drinks and stuff because he's not drinking because he's got a. But I just think when you've had a few and you get into like deep conversations, having a nice deep.
Max Deming.
Oh.
No one's getting out alive.
Trying to fit. I mean, I'd have to have Fletch there. I think he'd be good.
Fletch. I think that's a unanimous one, Fletch. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an outside the box one now.
I think someone like Adam Smith would be.
It'd be a laugh.
Yeah, it would be a good laugh, wouldn't
It
it?
says pass.
I mean, you know you're guaranteed a good time with Harry Redknapp, aren't you?
True.
Like, that's easy.
John Bailey.
I was just about to say John.
And Frank Rolling.
That's
Because you know his opinions on the French.
Yeah, that'd be good.
World
Willie
War
Huck.
Three.
Get Willie Huck in there. Yeah. No, I think, but John Bailey's one that you think he'll have a laugh. You have a few good beers with him.
I think Pulis would be all right as well. Actually, at dinner, I think he'd be quite good.
He'd probably be all right. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like ones that you don't, like those players that you think they were good or whatever, and you like them, you don't know much about them. Yeah. Because I always thought, when we had Matt Ritchie on the pod, but I really enjoyed that because I felt like he never done like interviews and stuff, so I didn't really know much about the person. He was great. I like that.
I would.
Well, no, we've missed an obvious one.
Go on.
We'll get Mark Pugh in. He's cooking the dinner.
Oh, yeah, we got a chef. That's bang on. Thinking logistically.
Yeah, thinking logistically.
But would it be too healthy, that dinner? Probably. But then he is. Yeah, you've got to have a chef there. So yeah,
I would have like physio Steve Hard, just so Jordan Clark could say Steve Hard on, like he said.
That's what he's known for.
Do invite Jordan Clark now, though.
Yeah, I know. Add your first names to current AFCB players / staff and come up with 3 singers. Add your first names to...
Easy. Should we try and do our own?
What, I mean, current, can we do past as well?
Yeah. Well, I'm for Tom, I'm thinking Tom Fletcher. Z McFly.
Tom, yeah. Oh, yeah, Tom Fletcher. Sam Bailey.
Oh, yeah, Sam
Bailey. She was at that charity game recently, wasn't she?
Sam Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam Smith. There you go.
And Tony...
What is it, not Tiggs?
Hey. Is this the way to end?
Tony Christie!
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah, Tony Christie.
That's good. You're good at this.
It's very good.
Is there any other Tonys that we could? There's got to be more Tonys than Sams, right? Tom, I can't think of any more. I feel like there's got to be. Let us know, Nicole. I feel like
Tom.
There's got to be, I don't think there's any more Toms, are there? Well, no, it's not past, is it? It's staff and players now. Yeah. So because I can't do Tom Jones because he left. We've had a few Joneses.
We'll have a think about
that. Yeah, let us know.
Paul Kenwood said, "Who is faster, Tiggs, Jeff, Sam, or Tom?"
At what?
I don't know. Just who is faster?
I'd feel like if it was, I'm assuming here, if it's a running race, I feel like I would be like, say they done a drill in training.
Do you think you'd nick it?
Well, you'd have to do a goalkeeper and like you take penalties and the goalie's got to save them. It would be like Travers being one of the keepers and all the other, the pressure on Travers. I feel like the pressure because of my age. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm not that quick in many aspects. I'm not that quick. I think
Sam's pretty.
Sam's deceivingly quick.
I am quite.
Because I play football with Sam, and yeah, he's not slow. But then when he has a sprint, he's out of the game 5 minutes.
He's got unusual proportions, Sam, and he's long in areas of his body, long legs.
Oh, and your fingers are quite long.
And short in others.
Your fingers will get there just in front of me. See, you got to remember
yeah, I'd run like that.
You got to remember my strides ain't gonna be big. You know, I don't know about Neil and Jeff but yeah, I mean, I'd back myself, but. You might be a dark horse in that, Sam.
Neil Dawson. if you sit in the middle of a row in the cinema, which armrest is yours?
I always go. I mean, I don't know.
It all depends.
Right arm. You're right. So if I'm in the middle now, that's mine. I always think it's the one on your right. I don't know why. Maybe
Do they,
that's
at the cinema, right? Do they, if you're on an aisle seat, do they have, they have an
One to the
armrest on
right.
the left-hand
On the
side?
left, I see,
And
yeah.
do they have like the little place for the drink on the left-hand side? Or if you are on the aisle seat, if the aisle was to your left?
So you're right. So really, in order to answer that question appropriately, there has to be an aisle that doesn't have an armrest, correct?
because if the aisle,
Otherwise, someone's getting two.
yeah. Because if the aisle doesn't have an armrest, then it's everyone's left, isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause it just all goes along like that. But that's a good point. But I always said right. I don't know if that's just normally when you go to cinema, you've got a bit of room. When I've been recently anyway, so I just always go right. I don't know if it's just because like I'm right-handed, so I just automatically put it in there. But I don't know if there's actual etiquette or not.
What Amanda says, what do you love most about doing BOTN, and what's the most annoying thing about it?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's not bad. What do I like about it? What's my actual... I think it is just, in general, just chatting about football. I mean, I'm trying to think of what I dislike. I think sometimes it's that, we're just chatting about football and just chatting, giving our opinions, like people can do, as you mentioned on the fan caps. And it's when sometimes you get, as you say, few and far between, you get comments almost acting like we're a spokespeople for the football club. And like our opinion is... So we shouldn't say that because we're not spokespeople for the football club. We're just giving our opinions as well. So yeah, I think sometimes people think we shouldn't say certain things, or why should we say that?
And that's one thing we're very careful. I think when you write the articles for the BBC and stuff, and we do bits for TalkSport and whoever else, and quite often I notice you say, I don't know if you sort of realise you do it, but you say, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, I can't speak on behalf of X, Y, Z, which I think is a good thing because, sometimes people can misconstrue that, and we don't always have the opinions that everyone's got, of course.
Yeah. No.
I do find it quite funny when we're this is something we just got used to because of the way it's happened. It's going to happen, but when we're treated as a collective.
Yeah.
Like we're collective consciousness, that we all have the same opinion. We don't have the same opinions. Things we agree on some stuff, but we disagree on other. So when I hear we are back of the net, which is lovely in one way, but in the other way, it's like, well, I'm still different to him, and he's still different to me, and we do.
It's true, actually. I think that's sometimes
quite funny.
I tweet quite a lot off my own account, and opinion and stuff on the game, and often it is kind of seen like. People think that's back and let's opinion then. No, it's just mine. I don't always agree with you guys. So I know what you mean on that sense. But we are like a collective. Maybe we're like the Spice Girls.
Maybe we are.
I'm Baby, by the way. I'm a small.
I think
I'm Baby.
My favourite thing I think is documenting the matchday vlogs. Yeah. The most annoying thing about it is not annoying, but the sort of the growth of the channel. I think we've sort of. Numbers don't really matter, but I feel as though it's always going to be a slow burner because of the size of our club. Of course. Always going to be a slow burner. And, we could put out these matchday vlogs of the incredible quality with all these amazing cameras and production facilities and stuff. But ultimately, because we're Bournemouth, it's never really going to grow as much. And to that extent, it will never be something that's a full-time thing, which would be lovely, but
But no, it's the. I remember when did we have a spell where we had like Wolves, then Brentford, or around, and you just saw that it was, and then Sunday, and then you get Leeds, and the view. I mean, it's because of it's the size of the opposition clubs, because we're always gonna. But yeah, we're a small football club at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah. I'm just there's also some that have been submitted via email as well. And I'm gonna
nice.
Go through those, and some of them via email have been rather interesting. Right. How do you guys find the time? Your work must be very lenient.
Yeah.
Well, I'm self-employed.
Yeah, as am I.
As a web developer, so it sort of means I can juggle stuff about. So that's really that.
There's a reason why it's mostly Sam and I. As I say, Sam said that. I'm a support worker, and I'm part-time technically. So yeah, we normally, as I say, see what Sam's doing, see what I'm doing, and we normally try and we normally find a day in the week, don't we, to smash a few. We might occasionally do a few videos and maybe change our tops potentially. We're not at the pair every day.
Well, that's the
So that's probably also a reason. That's probably a reason why people think because videos are coming out every day. Like we're there, we just changed our tops.
Yeah, we'll change the tops. We'll sit in a different seat in the pair, and all of a sudden it looks like they're on a different day.
We do that on purpose, so it doesn't look. It wouldn't look aesthetically pleasing if like every video it's like. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes a few of my mates have said and stuff, they've spotted, that must be the same day because there's the same person in the background with the same jacket or something. But yeah, we're fortunate in that, aren't we? That we can, that's why we don't get as much of Tigz, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll notice that I kind of turn up, all of a sudden you won't see me for a while, then you'll see me like loads. And that's because the kids' holidays have happened because I work in education. So, but then you'll see me in like 3 videos. Truth is, it's probably all on the same day. But, that's what happens.
Yeah. So, yeah, we are very fortunate to be able to do that, aren't we? So.
Mark said your hairy mic needs upgrading. That's this thing here.
People don't like that.
That's just our wireless little mic thing. But yeah, maybe we could upgrade it. Maybe we will at a certain point in the future. Get Lucy, Heather, Kerry and Leanne on more. Top birds. More Mr. Tigz and swearing Lucy. Jeff, please. Make Seatbelt Steve a panellist.
Oh. We love Steve.
He's a free transfer these days, isn't
he? Yeah, I think Steve might be available. We'll have to discuss. Again, this is what it all comes down to. Sam and I, and like Tigz said, when the kids are on holidays and stuff, we can get together. But most people do, I don't have the time to do it, and I'm not sure if Steve would have all that time. But maybe talks are ongoing. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, there may be some contractual things going on. I don't know. I mean, they start here on Back of the Net. Yeah. They always come back. Don't they? But Seatbelt Steve, a panellist.
He feels like he's part of the group because he comes on all
he's
the
on
games
the vlogs, isn't he?
He's
on the vlogs.
Because he's our mate that comes to the games. So.
All the people. I mean, I reckon that was from Steve, but I mean, all of the people that he's kind of named are like in our social, and that's part of the thing that drives this whole thing. The fact that we've got a friendship group out there. We had a Back of the Net Christmas night the other evening, which was absolutely superb.
Yeah, great fun.
At the Connaught Hotel, and that's the thing that kind of makes it all worthwhile, isn't it? Because the video stuff, all the vlog stuff. I know I can be annoying when I'm going around with my camera, but like ultimately. It's a social, it's a jolly, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, wouldn't do it if it wasn't enjoyable, would we? No, so that's the main thing.
It has to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
How did Tom Jordan get so beautiful?
I genuinely didn't write that either.
Did you not?
No, get so, but that makes it sound like
You've had a good season.
Yeah, I've had a good season. Maybe it's the weight of Parker gone. I've just kind of blossomed. I don't know, but thank you.
Why is TJ so anti-Liverpool?
Oh,
are you?
I'm not a massive fan of Liverpool. No, I wouldn't say.
Wait. What do you mean? When you mean Liverpool, do you mean current Liverpool or just Liverpool generally?
Yeah, not the city.
No.
Do you mean under Klopp or do you mean historically? Is it because of your earlier allegiances?
No, I think it's because I've got a lot of mates that are Liverpool fans.
Right.
That are obviously. I mean, I know a few from Liverpool as well, but. People mostly are from down here, and they're Liverpool fans, and I don't know what it is. Really. I think there's that thing of when we go there, it's so quiet, and then you always hear about the Anfield atmosphere. And I'm a bit like, but it is amazing when but it's only certain games like Champions League nights. It's amazing there. I don't know why. I used to think it almost felt like they had some sort of divine right to win everything and thought they're better than everyone else. But every Liverpool fan I've met, really nice people. I like Liverpool. Who's the guy that does the Paul Machin? Yeah, he does a lot of the YouTube stuff. He's really nice. Seen him at the Overlap. He's great. I really like Carragher.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think when you're with the top teams, if you like, your Cities, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man U, that kind of stuff, I just prefer some of the others, really. But I wouldn't say I'm anti-Liverpool. We lost 9-0 to them. I'm not happy. But no, I wouldn't say anti. I don't know.
No. Okay, let's have some more.
Oh, actually, they gave us Jordan Lloyd, Brad Smith, Nathaniel Klein, Harry Wilson. That's why I'm anti-Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because they give us all the duds, apart from Dom.
We've also had some really nice comments as well. Ian said, overall, bloody excellent, keep it going. Looking forward to BOTN in Europe in a few years.
Oh, wow.
Northern fan said, just wanted to say how brilliant you've been all year. I go to all the Northern games and occasional home games when I get hold of a ticket. Your sense of humour and your down-to-earth presentation is fantastic.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Very nice.
Really cheers me up having to live in the cold north, makes me feel that home isn't so far away. Have a great Christmas, etc. Chris Edwards, asks for the Christmas pod. We're going to slowly morph into football. What are your pros and cons of having an American owner?
Well, is that a question for now?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose pros. The guy is incredibly driven. I was talking to Neil Dawson about this. He was talking to all of us about it, I think. And he had some dealings where he met some Americans and they came into a business and he was sort of about, and he said that they come in and they look at it and they go, right, how do we make this place worth more? And whatever you say about Foley, that's definitely his thing, isn't it? He's going to come in, he's going to add value. He does not want to. Mr. Deming, thank you very much, by the way. But as he sold the club, he looks like he's made a loss. Yep. That's not going to happen under Foley, I don't think. And I don't feel like he is the type of owner that's going to be sucking money out of this football club, personally. But that's, you can only go on what you kind of get early on. However, on the other hand, you look at the situation in some of the bigger football clubs, the ones that are already well established, the ones that are already looked at as a way of pulling money out rather than having to put money in, like your Man United's, then that's a very different scenario. So I can understand why people are sceptical.
Yeah, I think Tig's bang on with the pros, and I think we've covered a lot of the pros. I think a con is just all that fear. It's actually a bigger point in terms of there's that. Is it 14? If there's 14 American owners, then they can start kind of taking it. And it's that there's a lot of things in American sports and in football where it lacks competition. In terms of there's no relegation and things, and obviously we've had all that thing with the Super League. That's my main worry, is if we get too many American owners in, it goes down that route, because I think then you're sucking a lot out of football. I think the competitive nature of it is everything. So, and you just end up with your big clubs and just you're not playing for anything really. So yeah, that's why, and just the unknown in general is a con. I'm one of them people that just keep everything as it is. Just don't change anything, so I don't like it. But yeah, no, I think it's definitely more pros and cons, but. Yeah, that's all. But I think in general, it's just that we don't know yet. And maybe we'll come back to this in 6 months and we'll be able to do that question again, potentially.
In one of the questions on YouTube, it's sort of linked in with the ownership, because Bill Foley's chairman now. Jeff Mostyn was chairman. In 2008, I'll ask this to you individually. In 2008, if Jeff Mostyn did not save the club, would you have supported a different club, and what club would it have been?
So if we had gone out of existence, basically?
Yeah.
I would have gone local. So I'm trying to think.
I mean, I suppose what you can say, right, in a situation like that, what could have happened is it could have created an opportunity
for a start again.
Or like a Phoenix
club. Like a Phoenix club. And the people were talking about that, weren't they? I mean, I remember at the time people were talking about that.
Yeah.
And that was a real possibility. And if not, then Poole Town, it created an opportunity for them, or similar, or Dorchester, or there's a space to fill, isn't there? There's this massive audience. Well, not massive. What we're talking about. We had like 4,000 fans then. There's an audience there that could have been grabbed and should have been grabbed.
If you had to pick an existing league club, though.
League, not because I was going to go down the Wimborne route. I would have gone back to. I'm sure most people aware my kind of when Bournemouth were rubbish and we had a Premier League club and I still liked them was Arsenal. So I would have probably just gone back into when I was a kid and liked Arsenal more. If there's just like a random one, I'm thinking of just a club that I quite like. I'm trying to think. If Luton was a bit closer, just because I like to stay out, it's a bit quirky. It feels like a little club that are kind of getting bigger and bigger and kind of doing similar things to us. I'm trying to think of a. You got to go local though if you're going to actually.
Something you got like a local. So
I'd possibly go Portsmouth.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
Just to keep the hatred with the scum.
Yeah, well, basically, and also I think our journeys are obviously they've got more history and more trophies, all that stuff. But I think we're kindred spirits in some ways.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of connections with players, past and previous, staff, past and previous as well. Eddie Howe, of course, Richard Hughes, Harry Redknapp. They've got loads of players that play for both clubs, and I don't know.
I think what would have been difficult, because I would have probably, I mean, this shows how much bloody love the man, but I probably would have gone, well, I'll just follow Newcastle because of Eddie Howe.
Because of Eddie, yeah.
But you can't get a game, so I mean, there's no way I could afford to go to Newcastle. I wouldn't want to go there every week. So, but I'd miss going to games. So I wonder if actually I'd kind of follow Newcastle from like just watching on the telly, and they're a big club, and then I would just go to non-league games like a Wimborne. I'd probably end up going go Wimborne, go to Poole Town one week, and see who I kind of fall for, if you like. Do you know what I mean? Like go to a few local games and then think which one have I just like really felt the most at home with.
I'd hope that I would do that. I hope I wouldn't have then fallen out of love.
That's what you don't know, do you? Yeah, you could have.
Because you could have just. No, I can't. There isn't another one. That's it.
Yeah.
That would be the worry.
Favourite Christmas song?
I used to always say Fairy Tale of New York.
You know what? I think I'm on board with that.
I think it probably is Fairy Tale of New York. I do like Last Christmas. Wow.
Little Drummer Boy.
Okay.
By it's the one with David Bowie and yeah.
What, really, is it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you ones I don't like. The ones that are overplayed. All I Want for Christmas Is You does my head in.
I quite like that.
Yeah, but it's just overplayed all the time. And Santa Baby, is it Kylie? I
Yeah,
love
I
Kylie,
bet that
but
was
that is
crap.
crap. I think Fairy Tale of New York is still my favourite.
I like that one. Are you hanging up your stocking on the wall? Are you hanging up your stocking on the wall? Are you hanging up your stocking?
Who was it that done that?
Slade did it.
Slade originally.
No, but who done the version that was...
I don't know. There's a video on YouTube where they've done the whole song, but every line is "Are you hanging up your stocking on the wall?"
And it works,
and it does really.
Can
work.
we link it? Can we put it in the?
Yeah, we'll
links in the description.
Yeah, links in the description.
I'm sure they've got enough. That's probably got millions of views.
Exactly,
Nice little plug for them.
Oh, love it. And look, we've got a few football related questions, but do we want to
try
go?
quick fire 'em.
Yeah, we'll quick. Oh, well, firstly, what do you think of the pedestrianisation of Norwich City Centre?
I wish it was there when we played them and lost 6-0, which I actually went to, if I haven't mentioned it. And then the coach went down there, couldn't get in, and the players couldn't go, and then we couldn't play the game. I've got no thought on that whatsoever, and that's definitely Ash.
Jeff's contract renewal, Tigz. If he leaves, this summer, should we organise a big ban of him in the North Stand as a send-off?
Which Jeff?
Hayward.
Jeff Hayward. Oh no, come back.
Boston.
I reckon Lerma. They're probably
Jeff Lerma. Is he going to leave?
I don't want to think about it.
I don't know, man.
I think he's staying.
I think he's got to stay. I mean, if he doesn't stay, we're not going to get any money for him. I know some people are saying, "Oh, should we try and get something from him?" We're not getting anything for him that's worth getting for him.
I think without going to two digs, I'm sure we'll cover it in another show. But I think that the problem from the club's point of view is he probably wants a long contract. They're going, but if we give him a contract till he's like in mid-30s and then we get relegated, we're stuck with him because no one's going to sign him because of his age and he's going to be on massive wages and we're in the Championship. So I think that's why the club are a bit worried and maybe they've offered him 1-2 years and he's gone on longer, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, my thoughts on Jeff Lerma, we're not going to get a better defensive midfield player for a few years. So
what would you do? You know, how will you feel?
We've already discussed the other clubs I'd support. I'd be... I mean, first of all, I think, can we get him on the pod? Can we get a translator in? I'd be gutted, but yeah, it is what it is. He is. We'll be fine.
We're going to have to teach Ben Pearson Spanish, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you been watching that BBC show Traitors or Traitor?
No, I haven't.
Everyone's going on about it, and
Have you seen it?
No, I watched the first. I sort of saw it on Gogglebox.
I
thought, you know what, I'm gonna have to watch this. And I think, you know, it's something I'm saving, but it's one of these things you're seeing people talking on social media, and it's, you know, I don't want to read. Like if I see the word traitors,
you don't want to read it.
I stop reading it because then I don't want to know who is. I think there's like 3 traitors out of a group of people. Richard asks, who would be the best traitor out of the BOTMT? What, a traitor?
Oh, so it's just exactly what it says.
Yeah,
and the show's the same.
The show, I think there are 3 traitors in a group of 12 or more people.
So they're planted.
They have to work out who the traitors are.
I see.
So you know they're planted to be the traitors.
So who's the most? Basically, who's the most sneaky and can be?
Who would be the best traitor out of the BOTMT? So basically, who would move to another channel? Who would?
Oh, okay.
Who would be saying things behind a what?
Nothing.
I think you're the most intelligent. So I think you would be
So I would like
cleverly be able to do it without us knowing or something like that if we're thinking on that sense. I don't know.
I mean, that would be rubbish, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If he just went. Yeah. Here's all the equipment.
Yeah. It would be stuff, so you can't do that. I don't know. It would be I'm trying to think of like reasoning why someone would be a good. I don't know.
I think you'd be an excellent.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Yeah, fair enough.
Who's got, you know, Traitor Tom? Tom the Traitor.
I mean, to be fair, if someone did come in Sky Sports, I'd leave straight away. There's no question about it. All my loyalties would be gone. I'm off. Yeah. I'm getting the cash. You know,
I think you're quite loyal.
Yeah, I think Tigz is too loyal. Yeah.
Let's keep them thinking that.
Yeah, let's keep them thinking that. What else we got? What's the Jim Jam? What's the best Christmas movie?
Home Alones. The Home Alones. Home Alone 1, 2, 3.
You know what? Can I say something? I've never seen like Die Hard, and there's always this debate.
You did watch Elf the other day, though, didn't you?
Yeah,
For the first time.
You never watched Elf?
You've never watched Elf.
What did you think?
It was all right.
Oh, that feels like a bit overrated.
I mean, it's.
Yeah, I probably agree, actually. I think Elf's very overrated.
I'm not a huge fan of slapstick. Yeah, I do love Home Alone.
Home Alone is the best.
Yeah. I do like Home Alone. Christmas movie, what else is there?
So you were saying Die Hard, whether that's a...
No. I mean, I haven't watched it, but like...
You've never watched Die Hard?
No, but people debate whether it's a Christmas movie
Have you watched any Christmas films?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Die Hard...
Die Hard's a Christmas film, in my
Is it?
opinion. Do you think it is?
I mean, like, is it just a film that's set at Christmas rather than...
No, there's a lot of Christmas undertones and stuff in it, I think.
Well, there's a Christmas tree in it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Christmas tree. I think it's a Christmas film. Personally, I do.
Because it's about, coming together and killing terrorists. Yeah.
Very Christmas feel to it. Grinch is quite good. You got a favourite stick?
You've seen the Grinch?
Oh, jeez.
What do you do? What do you do? Just eat your nuts and watch Bond films? Do you have a Bond marathon?
I'm not a contortionist. Yeah.
How have you not watched the Grinch? Snowman.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
that's like 30 minutes. That's my attention span. I'm fine with that.
That one.
Yeah.
What's your favourite too? You got a favourite Christmas film?
I'm a bit...
Just a bit,
yeah.
You know what?
Holiday's very good. Cameron Diaz, love Cameron Diaz. The Holiday.
I have seen that.
Yeah, that's good. That is good.
I'm not very good with movies. I'm really not very good
No.
in terms of I could be going home alone.
He will be, yeah.
I think that's
I
probably.
mean, if you're
I think that's probably my.
I won't make the nuts joke again.
That's probably.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Home Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone.
Right. Yeah, with you on that. Oh, I haven't seen the Grinch. Jeez.
Well, I mean, but is it stupid?
What?
What?
That you haven't seen it? Yeah.
What I don't. I mean, like I know that. Look, my issue with some kind of films is if it can't happen. Then I'm not really into it. Like
Sam doesn't read fiction books.
A kid could be left at home by his family when they go jetting off on the other side of the country.
And all the taxi sets, they'll all be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that won't kill any of them. No, they'll be fine. Yeah, that's all quite realistic, isn't it?
But the Grinch, I mean, that's.
What?
I mean, I don't even know what it is, but come on.
You are.
Load balls,
What sort of life must you live? You don't watch anything that can't
Miracle on
happen.
34th Street? Nah.
Not having it. Okay.
I'm not a big fan. But you know what? Credit to those who are. Father Christmas is real, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You'd like Die Hard then?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, you'd love
Yeah,
it.
you'd love Die Hard.
And look, there are a few other questions as well.
We've got to do feedback as well, haven't we?
What's that?
We've got to do feedback. Is there feedback?
Yeah. No, we've gone through a bit of the feedback. We've got questions about our new stadium, and you know what? We might do this for another, for another video and make it a more like serious one. I'm just gonna have a final check through of the email, but yeah, like really nice to see so many people that have been submitting really lovely comments to us. It's been absolutely.
You ain't going to get them after when they realise you haven't watched the Grinch. They're going to absolutely hammer you in the comments.
Right, final question. Do you like mince pies?
I do. I think they're a bit overrated, but I do like them.
Yeah, I mean, but it's the funny thing about Christmas. We talked about this earlier, didn't we? Brussels sprouts.
I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
Only going to come to
What is it?
Mince pie, Sam.
I mean, it is a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Yeah, I suppose it is a bit weird. Mince pies.
I don't tend to stare at it when I eat it, though, so I'm alright.
Anything with Christmas at the front, Christmas pudding, Christmas cake.
Pigs and blankets.
Pigs and blanket, turkey. You don't get those things all year round, do you?
What do you not like on a roast dinner? On a Christmas dinner? Oh, I bet you.
He's already
obviously
said Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
Parsnips?
Basically, I love parsnips. I do like parsnips. I think it is it's just Brussels sprout. I'm trying to think of other stuff that I do, because I have, carrots.
Do you have Yorkshire pudding?
Oh,
Yes
Yorkshire
or no?
pudding, yes.
What do you have out on a Christmas dinner?
I make sure
Wow.
whoever's cooking my Christmas dinner, but Yorkshire puddings are the best thing on a roast dinner.
Do you have Yorkshires on a roast?
I have done.
Sorry, on a Christmas
Yeah,
dinner?
I have done.
It's supposed to be beef with beef, isn't it?
Yeah.
Traditionally, but
I've had it. Yeah.
Well, what about cauliflower cheese? Is that,
No,
is
I
that
don't. I think anything. I can do anything now. I'm not a big fan of condiments, sauces.
oh, okay.
I'm not a sauces guy.
Yeah. I like
Gravy,
Yeah,
but that's it.
I like a bit of cranberry. That's about it, sauce-wise.
I'm so clammy.
That's why I'm waiting for you to talk, just to annoy you. Well, no, I think it is just Brussels. I don't think there's anything I really dislike. I mean, but yeah, like you said, Tigz, like if turkey was that good, we'd have it all year round. Wouldn't we? We all ate it. No one wants turkey over chicken.
It's quite dry.
Yeah, it was well dry. It was awful.
I like it in a sandwich though.
Well, like the next day.
Because you can, make up that special Christmas sandwich.
I quite like the special sandwiches that Tesco's do at Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they're quite nice.
But it's the same with like pancake day, isn't it? Everyone has pancakes. I never have pancakes all year round, apart from that day.
Oh, I do.
Oh, do you? Oh, fair enough.
I do. I get them requested.
You get requested. What to make?
Make a pancake. Yeah.
Is that you a bit of a pancake?
So you wake up in the morning and then
And someone says to me, "Go make some pancakes."
like you have a crepe and then you make some pancakes. Saw that one coming.
Yeah, that's awful. But what's the other thing? Avocado. People have that, don't they? And Bucks
Is that like eggnog? Is that eggnog? I've never had that.
Oh, gosh. Right, sit down, watch the Grinch, and have that.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
The Drambuie. What's that? Is that a Christmas drink?
No.
Like, am I just
I don't think that is a Christmas drink.
I don't think it is specifically a Christmas drink.
People have whatever they want, don't they?
But Bucks Fizz is a lot of people like start the morning with Bucks Fizz and that.
I mean, that's very sort of late 80s, early 90s, Tom, for you, but that's, I would say so, yeah.
I like a Bucks Fizz.
I like a Bucks Fizz.
So, are you looking forward to Chelsea? You looking forward to it?
Yeah, we win at Chelsea.
Yeah, I hope so. It's
No, we always win. We win at the Bridge.
It's
Not a good record though.
the sort of matches that we've got sort of puts the pressure on the one in the middle, doesn't it? Because obviously Man United's a difficult fixture.
Yeah,
Chelsea
Palace
is
games.
difficult, but Palace game is going to be pretty big. I mean,
I do look at Chelsea. I mean, Potter might have been able to get a bit of work and stuff. Obviously, he's quite fresh and he's clearly long term. And Potter I think he ain't got the players that would buy into his style yet, in my opinion. People like he wouldn't have signed your Aubameyang and some people like that. And I think we showed it against Newcastle. We showed it in the past. I think we can frustrate teams like that. I think we'll do a similar thing. It won't be amazing to watch, but I think we can frustrate teams like Chelsea, stop them getting in behind like we did against Newcastle and force them into crosses. They've got people like Aubameyang, Sterling, they want to get in behind.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll let them, and then we will rough them up. People like Kiefer Moore will rough them up on the break. So I think we can nick a point there, I really do. I do think we can nick a point there.
That would be nice. So we're going to be doing the usual back of the net treatment, of course, preview, which will be coming out very soon, actually, tomorrow. And also match day vlog, free for all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a busy old time, Tigz, isn't it?
Love it. I've missed it. I've missed it.
Bring it on, love it. Now they all come thick and fast, don't they? Like you say, got like Chelsea, then 2 games win a week. It's just like
But if you are going to Chelsea and you see us, come say hello.
Yeah.
Please.
Do come and say hello. And once again, just want to say thank you so much for. We started off as a podcast. We're now on YouTube, and as a result of us, there are other channels that have spawned. But we're still the kind of fastest growing, leading channel and stuff. And we just want to get bigger and better and stuff. And with your support, it's happening. Whether it's just feedback or whether it's like donations via buying one of these or becoming a monthly member, AFCBpodcast.com/coffee. Truly helps us out because we have got costs doing this thing. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us today. Tigz, it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure to you, mate. Make sure you pull a cracker today.
What have I got any puns? I don't know. Have a cherry Christmas. Thank you.
Have the cherries.
Cherries.
See you later on.
Bye.